So now, today on my kitchen, we're gonna cook the filleted fried chicken sandwich, Southern style. First, I've gathered the ingredients for the dry powders. So we have here a quarter cup of flour, a tablespoon of paprika, a tablespoon of salt, a teaspoon of white pepper, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and a half a teaspoon of sugar. So we're going to mix these items up. And we're going to dredge chicken breast fillets in it, which I still have to cut up. Okay, once that's mixed up, we'll set that aside. And here, we're going to take some heavy cream and a whole egg. And combine those. We'll just use this again. So the idea here is that the cream, makes my omelets really fluffy. So I thought, maybe it would add some fat. So sometimes it turns out to be a drier, leaner piece of chicken. But so we'll get back to this. We'll rinse this thing off. Okay, so I'm going to put the creamer back and get the chicken. We have here boneless, skinless chicken breast, and we're going to just fillet it. I can get anywhere 3 to 4 fillets out of a breast, depending on the size. This one, I'm gonna clean off all the fat and stuff that came on it, so we'll work through that. I've got my little knife here. It's always good to have a nice sharp knife on hand. So the idea here is to create some fillets, and I'll start with the thickest piece first. I'll kind of cut, a fillet, so we'll get a piece about that size. And it looks like with this piece, I'm just going to get 3 fillets out of it. Okay, not bad. So let's set the knife aside, and got some extra fat. Take care of that. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel, and I want my chicken kind of dry. The flour will stick to it better. Okay, let's get rid of that. Now this is new, so I've got a meat tenderizer here, and I'm just gonna kind of like, not too terribly hard, just enough to kind of flatten it out, make it a uniform thickness throughout. It also does, of course, tenderize it as the name implies. Especially you get your thicker pieces. Sometimes if you get an odd shaped breast or a really thick one, you can butterfly it out, and this will help take care of that. Alright. Okay. So now that the pieces have been duly tenderized and such, I'm going to scoot this over, and I'm going to bring back the flour, and I'm going to get a plate here, paper towel is a spot to hold the fillets once they've been powdered. I'm going to do this in a couple different sections. So the first one's going to be just dredging it in the flour spice mixture and setting it aside. So you can play around with the spices that you used. This time is the first time I've added sugar to it, because my previous iterations kind of, it seemed to be lacking a little bit of something. And well, this is America, and if you're not putting sugar in something, you're doing it wrong. And I really couldn't figure out how to put diet sugar. I guess you could, if you really wanted to be weird, you could put some Splenda in there. Not that I'm recommending it, but it was just part of an experimentation. So now that we've got everything kind of dredged, I'm going to take this quarter cup of plain breadcrumbs that I had previously put out, and we're going to mix it in here for the next phase. So again, reutilize my utensils. Okay, now we've got our egg and cream mixture. Put this aside, and get them in order here. So I'm going to dredge it in the egg. I find these gloves are really nice. Keep the sticky batter off your fingers, It just tends to add up. It compounds pretty quickly. So, yeah, you can see it's already sticking on there. So I kind of powder it up and compress it down. Give it a shake. And now we're going for the next piece. Put that in there. Flip it. Oh no! Okay. Put that in there. Smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. Wait, I think that might be a lyric from somewhere in my past. Or that I heard somewhere in my past. Anyhow, this is kind of a new format for me. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of videos. Most of the other stuff has been adventure type things or music videos, and my sister had asked, hey, can you tell me how to make that chicken? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, it'd be a lot easier to just make a video and send it to her instead of writing down all this technique and putting different sizes on here. Anyhow, so the next thing we're going to do is, once these things are dredged, I'm going to get out my air fryer rack. Okay, so we're done with this, and I'm going to move these out of screen. And see, all that would have been on my fingers, and now it's just going to go in the garbage. Okay, so bring back that, and I want to get my air fryer basket out, and I'm going to put a paper towel underneath it because I am going to be using some oil. It's going to drip everywhere, or at least through the pan. So I have here a quarter cup of peanut butter oil. Use whichever oil you want to do, but I like to make the chicken fairly saturated with the oil. Otherwise it doesn't seem to really fry up in the air fryer very nicely. So you can see there, I mean, it's wet, and I won't use this entire quarter cup, but as it's cooking, a lot of this is actually just going to drip off into the catch pan. Here's the other one. I've also done it with spray oil, but I haven't found any peanut spray oil. You know, it's olive oil or whatever. Rona. Okay. I feel like a little Bob Ross moment going on. Happy little chicken fillets. Yeah, let's put that in there. Big soft brush strokes. Alright, there's that. Now, let's flip it over. And we'll do the other side. So I'm cooking this in an instant air fryer. I got the big one, the Omni as it's called. I like that one. I had previously tried out the Vortex one that they had, and I didn't really like it. The buttons gave me a problem. I don't know if there was something wrong with my skin, or I could just never get the buttons to activate. Take 5 or 6 presses just to get it to, turn on or whatever. It was highly frustrating. And so the first one I returned, thinking that it was actually defective. And then I bought and then I exchanged it for another one, and it did the same thing. So I brought it back and I said, hey, this thing works exactly as it's supposed to, but it's just not for me. So then I got the instant air fryer, toaster oven, Omni Pro. Anyway, so they're ready to go. And I just placed the chicken fillets in here. Now this particular model says, where you should put it if you're going to air fry or toast. It's a good thing I looked because I had it on the wrong setting. So we're going to move it up one. And close it. I'm going to select air fry. And I've already made my presets for chicken. 400 degrees for 8 minutes and start. So it's going to preheat. The timer just went off. So the oven's preheated, and I'm going to move the chicken patties into the toaster oven now. And there we go. So in the meantime, if you don't have one of these, you might want to think about getting one. It uses the existing rotisserie rod on here. Measure the inside width of your machine plus the height to find one that works. There's some that open from the sides, and there's some that open from the top. I like this one. It opens from the top. And I cook French fries in it, and it's really, really good. Let's take a look and see what they look like. Oh yeah, and then it starts up on its own again. Alright, we got 20 seconds left. So we're not done yet. Now, we gotta do a bun. I'm gonna select toast, 2 pieces, and I want them lightly toasted. So, start. When that's done, I'll dress it up with some butter and pickles. And there we have it. The fried chicken sandwich.